Okay guys, 25 EKGs in 5 minutes or less. Just pause the sound when I go through these if you want to figure them out on your own. You know, should have good flow. There's 80% blocked, there's 100% blocked, and this is what we're looking for in STEMIs. It's a terrible picture, but I think you get ST elevation, reciprocal changes. Nice picture, J point. A lot of people ask about J points. ST segment depression can look different ways. Nice picture. This is the whole key to the pattern recognition of STEMIs. Pattern recognition of STEMIs. You can pull this off anywhere in an EKG book off the internet. Inferior, lateral, septal, anterior, lateral. Some people call this anterior septal, but you know, kind of septal leads, anterior leads, lateral leads. Shows the arteries, you can go with them. This is key. You got to look at pattern recognition. If the ST elevation is over here versus here, where's the reciprocal changes? So this is a key slide. All right, posterior wall is a little bit different. Nice little picture there. You get ST depression, V1, V2, then you can do different leads. There's a nice little summary of it. Okay, I'm just going to show you 25 EKGs. I want you to go through them. I don't want you to memorize them or anything. Just kind of quickly look. Pattern recognition. This looks funny. That looks funny. So ST elevation, reciprocal changes. Maybe even a little posterior extension. ST elevation, ST elevation. So inferior, maybe lateral with posterior extension with reciprocal changes. And another one, where does it look funny? ST elevation, reciprocal changes. So inferior wall, MI. Another one looks obviously funny, kind of here, reciprocal changes. Straightforward inferior wall, MI. Oh, reciprocal changes, ST depression, ST elevation, depression, ST elevation. Kind of looks a little funny here in the anterior septal leads. Maybe a little bit anterior, but definitely ST elevation there with reciprocal changes. So once again, pattern recognition, ST elevation, so that's lateral. ST depression, which would scare me a little bit there, could be posterior. Not really a lot of reciprocal changes though, so this is interesting. So inferior, lateral, with probably posterior extension. You get a right-sided EKG on this one. Once again, where does it look funny? That looks funny there, looks funny there, funny there. ST elevation here, reciprocal changes here. So lateral, kind of lateral, anterior lateral with reciprocal changes. Oops. Once again, this picture again, just showing you, you got to know the areas where they're at. This guy's in trouble. ST depression, ST elevation, ST elevation, ST elevation, he's in trouble. He or she. That's just massive MI. But definitely ST depression in these leads, definitely ST elevation here, anterior septal, lateral elevation. You're not going to do well. Once again, pattern recognition, inferior leads. Well, this is 2, 3 AVF, and that's reciprocal changes. So, inferior MI. Inferior reciprocal changes. Elevation here, lateral, reciprocal changes, lateral, reciprocal changes. A little bit of depression here. I did a posterior MI, or posterior EKG. ST elevation, lateral, reciprocal changes. There's a little ST elevation here, here, so that's be lateral. That would be anterior, that's equation septal, so anterior, lateral, MI with reciprocal changes. This is bad. Is this a bundle branch block or not? It's kind of hard to say, but that looks more like a, a STEMI to me, a septal STEMI, septal anterior. Some reciprocal changes here. So tough EKG, but once again, just looking at patterns. Inferior elevation for sure, reciprocal changes for sure, questionable, something going on there, consider posterior. ST elevation, reciprocal changes. Consider posterior. Picture again. Depression, elevation. A little funny here in the anterior septal lead there. I'm not sure if you can count that. Yeah, I would. It looks funny here too. So kind of the anterior leads, lateral, ST depression, reciprocal changes. Elevation, reciprocal changes. Looking funny here, looking questionable elevation in the anterior leads, lateral leads, so inferior, questionable anterior lateral with reciprocal changes. Lateral, reciprocal changes, definitely something going on here. This would be lateral, this would be anterior, this would be anterior, anterior, lateral, with reciprocal changes. Once again, pattern recognition is all I want to go over in this EKGs. Inferior, reciprocal changes. So inferior with reciprocal changes. Oh, what are we looking at here? Let's see. Looks like something septal. Something septal. Wall, V1, V2. This looks like we're doing a septal, V1, V2. Questionable reciprocal changes there. Questionable elevation there. I'd say a septal wall MI. Once again, in ST depression, ST elevation, so lateral with inferior changes. Elevation, elevation, elevation. Elevation, so lateral, anterior lateral. A little bit of reciprocal changes, kind of hard to see. Wow, that doesn't look good. This doesn't look good. So 2, 3 AVF is depressed. That's elevation 1 in AVL, elevation in septal leads and part. So septal, lateral leads with ST depression, reciprocal changes in 2, 3 AVF. Inferior wall MI, reciprocal changes, consider posterior extension. Oh, there's an elevation here too, so anterior lateral too, anterior lateral. That's a tricky one, so inferior, and he's got some anterior lateral, probably posterior extension. It's not going to do well. This has got some inferior depression, lateral ST elevation. That's something going on here in the septal leads and the anterior leads. So septal wall MI, anterior wall MI, lateral with inferior wall changes. That's it. Hope it helps.